All right, without further ado, let's press us a throw rocket, y'all. Let me get both my gloves on here. I'm not going to go into too much detail about the chemicals, but they are not good for you in concentration, ventilation. I have a air purifier going that's clearing any dust in here, but it's pretty moist, pretty damp tonight. It should keep the dust down, make everything kosher. So we'll start with some sodium benzoate. As you get increments out of your containers, always put the lid back on in case you got, you know, in case one sets off and it don't set off your fuel all at one time. So after each increment, we're going to start off pretty good spoonful there with some fuel, and we're going to go a half more increment more because this rocket set, cooling set, it makes a nozzle normally, but we're not making the nozzle in this one. It's just going to be all whistle fuel. So here's our first rammer. Just kind of make it where it'll slide easy. And what I do, I just kind of press it down a little bit, give it a shake on this first one, set it up. Maybe you can see the gauge move as we do this. Gotta get my handle there. All right, there we go. We'll take her a little over 3,500. I like it about 37 to make sure I got it good. And give it a good pull. One more to be for good measure. I'll bounce that needle 2 or 3 times in that first one. And you can see I passed my first little increment there. That's where the nozzle would be with clay, is that first line that keeps you from mashing it into that rammer to the bottom of that spindle. So we're in the safe zone, so we can continue on just pressing away. Sometimes that first one's a little tight. Get it out. And I made a mistake, and I bet y'all saw that. I left that container open. That is a no-no. Just nervous because I'm filming. So we'll get it right this time. Normally I'll have a smaller container here, but I got a lot going on. So one full increment. Lid. I mean, if one of these went off, I don't know how much safer it is closing, because this is some powerful stuff under pressure. Each one of them spoons will compress down to about half its height when it goes in. Y'all can hear my press lifting. Always take a look. I got at least 2 more increments, so. I'd probably do this with a smaller container next time. I'm just used to being by myself, but I got y'all with me tonight. I don't normally wear a shirt when I'm pressing fuels or messing with them. Just cutting down on static. Static is a no-no on some of these. Give out one more good one. I have an anti-static rug when I come into my little lab here. You don't see it right here, but in the doorway. And I have a metal plate on the outside of my little building here. It's grounded to the ground. I touch it before I come in. I wear all cotton clothes. That's going to be right on the line. It's okay to go over just a little. We'll make up for that on the next one. Just going to compress right out to where I need it. You can see it's right above that line. That's a sign to change rammers. Tap the end, make sure nothing in it. If not. And now we'll go to the second rammer. So what we're going to do here, each rammer has a specific increments on it. We're going to run 2 full rammers of whistle. So this will be the second rammer. This is what's going to give your rocket the muscle to carry the payload and still strobe. Because strobe doesn't really have a lot of impulse. This strobe I use has a little bit. And she won't lose speed as long as you got a couple of increments of that whistle. Usually it's 2 to 3 spoonfuls, 2.5 spoonfuls or so. Per time you load it. You can move to one of these rockets, and I'm doing this slow. If I wasn't talking and explaining, less than 10 minutes total time. And you can see I'm almost there. Yeah, one more full increment. If you want an extra long strobe, you can do a half increment like right here in this part before I finish this rammer and start your strobe in this one just barely, and it'll get you another second or so of the strobing. This strobe is fast, but it's completely consistent. There's no erratic pop. It's just like, it's strange. And the bigger the rocket, the louder the pop on these. I know people like the ones that bang, 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 and all that, but I don't know. I just think these look more professional when they fly, but I'm not knocking anybody's design or way. This is just the way I prefer to do it. So now, I'm going to switch to the strobe. Get it closed up, keep that moisture out. Strobe fuel doesn't compress as hard. Or doesn't take as much. Now, what I should say is it doesn't compress down as much as that whistle. So you'll see that it won't move far on this one. Third rammer. And you can see it almost shows that that one spoonful did that whole rammer. But it'll compress down where I have to do like 2 increments here. Now, strobe is powerful fuel in the way it works. It's violent in nature, but it doesn't burn straight. It has to build up and pop and build up and pop in combination with the gases burning off from the whistle fuel below it. So it's kind of a combo how you do it. And I think I got to get one more. And I'll take it about 1/8 above the spindle. And then I'll switch back to whistle for the delay. I bet that's bouncing the camera. It's on the same desk. And you can see I'm right on that line. So I'll just give her a little smidge. Not too much. I don't want it don't strobe unless it's got the hollowness to it. Switch to my last rammer. That little line there compensates for the tube crushing. As you press these down, it drags it down. You can see the gap there is just less than about a 1/16. And so I don't hit the top of that rammer and set this thing off. It's compensated. Woody's just does a real good job with the tool. So now that I'm above that line, I'm right at the top of that spindle, slightly above it, not much. And then we'll go straight back to whistle. Like I said before, this is my medium power whistle fuel, and I like it because there's a lot less katos. When you just want to play, You know, show people stuff. It's not as dangerous, more consistent. I go with this one. And I'll give the recipes to both the hot mix and this one. The hot mix will KO slightly more often, but the power difference is crazy. Y'all see my rockets lately, I've slowed them down just a little, but I've got some that just absolutely disappear, and that's that hot mix. It's just got more oxidizer in it. Creates more hot gas, but like I say, they will blow up every once in a while, which is cool too to me. It's whatever. So far, I'm about 1 in 40 rockets, and usually throws are about 1 in 20. I just took my time with the fuels and learned to do the pressing and all that correctly as far as I'm concerned. It works for me. I've seen a lot of you guys got your own designs that look fantastic. As long as it works and you can repeat. All right, this should be the last increment of fuel. It is absolutely perfect. So let me explain something here, because there's 2 ways I do these rockets to set off a header. So this one, I'm actually going to show you how. Well, let me get it off the spindle first, because I'm not going to put any more. I'm not going to put clay or take any more fuel to it. So when I'm doing, say, like a salute header, where I'm going to glue a tube on the outside of a tube and fill it full of flash or something, what I do is I put an increment of clay in there, not a full increment, just a small one, and then I'll drill a hole very carefully down till I see the pink whistle fuel. And then I glue my tube on, put my explosive in it, and then glue a cap in it. And what that little clay plug, that little hole, is called a pacifier, and that allows the rocket motor to ignite the warhead. And when you do those, you add a little more whistle for delay. You see how I tap that to break it loose from the block. And here, this is how I get these off. I got a little adapter. There is a tool. Here, I'll show you that. Let me get this where it holds it. You get it the right spot here, and this old press will hang on to it. So this tool right here, the rocket motor goes up on it and the spindle base is in here. And then when you tighten the bolt and the nut, it pops that spindle out of the middle of these. Anything over 1 pound, good luck getting it off without that tool. Up to 1 pound, you know, it's doable. So I just pull it down there and my handle's down. I lean against the handle, grab that rocket motor with both hands, and twist, and it comes right off. So how I attach these are your standard artillery cells, 1.91 D12s, whatever you want to call them, what you like to get from the fireworks stand. And what I do to attach that, what I got here is a 3-pound rocket tube. This is a heavy wall one, and some of these I had to peel 1 layer off, but it just so happens that they fit right on a 1-pound rocket. So I'll cut me 2 inches of that off, and then I'll glue it right down onto this rocket with wood glue. I use Tri-Bond wood glue. And then the gunpowder, you can see it's in there, the lift charge. You just pour that in your rocket right above your fuel. It happens to all fit in there. And then these happen to fit in these. And this one wants me to peel 1 layer. You see it wants to go in there, but so you don't damage it, I just take a razor blade and split it and then peel that layer off, and it glues right in there, y'all, which glues the motor right into that. So the gunpowder sets the time fuse off, and how high you want it to go or how far you want it to drop is determined by how much delay you have until it reaches the raw gunpowder in there. And you know, like I say, these rockets are straight up powerful. They go, I can get them to go a couple, 3,000 feet, no problem. Depends on how much weight. Then when all that's said and done, I got you an example here of that adapter I made. It's wrapped in tape down here to make it look better. As you can see, it's just a cardboard tube. And get my hands right here. You get it down there and you get it right, it slips right on there, and there's your rocket, guys. Any effect you want. I mean, this makes a pro grade rocket pretty easy. This part here is about, with the stick, you're looking at about $8 or so. With these, say these are $5 a piece in a kit. So you got $13 in a pro strobe rocket you build at the house. And I take pride that I know how to do that. If you got any questions, be sure to comment. Like and share, y'all. Show me some love. I'm trying to make this happen. I'm getting pretty close. If y'all have any other requests on devices to build, just let me know in the comments and we'll see if we can work it out. Thanks for watching.